and everyone have mentors in their lives. If you just critically analyze them, that how they have made all those wonderful things possible in their lives. So, for the first rule of a successful life is that you need to have mentors, and for mentors you need to have people 10x. I mean, those who are 10 times ahead of you in your knowledge, your education, your profession, business, or whatever it is. So the first important rule is that they have mentors. And the second rule of all the successful people in this world, if you critically analyze their life, is that they persevere. They persevere. They are very much consistent in their lives. Media just sabotages a lot of our things, and they tell us great stories of Bill Gates, but they don't tell us that he never took a day off. Between these age of 18 to 30 years, or 12 years of his life, he has never taken one day off from his office work. And this is what has made Bill Gates one of the biggest entrepreneurs in this world. So they keep on trying, they keep on making things steadfast. They are their beliefs, and they are not just hurry. Nowadays, it's a big problem with us. As Simon Singh had just recently said 3 things about the millennials, those people who have got birth after 1984, that 3 things are identical in millennials. Number 1, everyone is very impatient. We want results in a very quick way. Number 2, technology, the misuse. And the number 3 is basically parenting as well. So the one element in this is that there is no need to get that much in hurry for pursuing the results. If you really want to be successful, you need a long-term effort for going to this. If anyone of you remember Sachin Tendulkar's last test speech against West Indies in Bombay or Delhi, he said, when I was a kid, my grandfather used to tell me that, Sachin, there are no shortcuts in life. You always need a long course to get whatever you want to get in your life. So the second quality is perseverance. So you need to be very much consistent in order to get what you want. And the third quality is humility. That is the 21st century transferable skill as well, apart from your technical skill. The one greatest skill that you need to learn in this world nowadays in 20th century is you need to be humble. You need to be very down to earth no matter how successful you are. If you're not humble, if you're not that much down to earth, no one is going to respect you in the longer term, and you are not going to create that impact on the society in your surroundings. And the number 4 rule is they are Stoics, they are not Epicureans. Stoics are the people who actually sacrifice their today for making a better tomorrow. Epicureans are the people who believe in eat, drink and be married. They have a life just in one day, and apart from the second day or third day, they are least bothered what is happening around in coming 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So they are actually Stoics. They are not Epicureans. And they live a life which is away from the fears. If any one of you have read the novel Alchemist by Paulo, there's a very wonderful line in that the fear of sufferings is worse than suffering itself, and that no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dreams. So the important factor in this in this regard is that they actually consistently make their efforts go on. They are Stoics. They plan for the coming time. They just don't focus on today's life. And one last wonderful habit of these people is, second last, is they read books. Books, as is the topic of this session as well, books are not like one-time life partner or one-time friendship or one-time partner or ever temporary relationships. Books are extremely important because they make us think, they make us questions in our lives. Our honorable speakers were saying very good importance of the books, and he was actually motivating you to go for that. But मैं उनसे ये भी request करूँगा कि इनको कुछ अच्छी books जो suggest भी करें. Since I have come here, so I am going to recommend you 5 books, 3 from English and 2 from the literature, that every one of us must read in order to observe the critical sides of life. Number 1, Shoe Dog by the creator of Nike, Phil Knight. Shoe Dog, that's a wonderful book that recently in the market. Every one of I encourage you to must read this book, Shoe Dog, and you know how the big sports brand Nike came into existence and how was the struggle behind that. And number 2, Animal Farm by George Orwell, the wonderful novel. When you read this novel, you will certainly going to see at your surroundings, and you will see every one of our friends or relatives and everyone around us will look more like an animal. Because we are more like this. So George Orwell is a wonderful this. And the third book is Tuesdays with Maureen. The Smith album book. It's a wonderful book, and an old professor and a young student sit together every Tuesday, and they discussed about life, marriage, tolerance, love, and all those very sensitive topics of the world. And you need, and they just make you explore life from a different perspective. So these 3 English books. and 2 Urdu books. Number 1, Mumtaz Mufti Talash. It's a wonderful book for those progressive minds who really want to see religion, politics, economy, and normal human life from a different perspective. And number 2, although this book is not that much recommended in universities, and young students are especially called to just stay away from this book unless you get that much adult enough of 26 or 27. But I personally recommend that every one of the girls and boys must read Bano Kusia's Raja Gid at least once in life, especially when you are in your university time. So you need to understand actually human nature. It is extremely important that why things are just not working well in relationships, why things are not actually working well in friendships, where things are not working well in our life as well. So this is extremely important. And the last rule of the successful people in the life is, remember that everyone wants the good life, but everyone does not get the good life. The last rule is they apply in their life the rule of 33%. It's an interesting rule. They spend 33% of their time people who are higher than them, in intellect, in knowledge, in business, or whatever the skill you can say. They spend 33% of their time who are at their level, their friends or colleagues. You always need friends to make you feel special about themselves. And the last 33% time they spend with the people who are 10 times lower than them, because these are the people whom you need to lift. Lower part of the society, the underprivileged people, the people who are less in the values, in the money, or in the status, or whatever they are. So you need to divide your time 33% to the people 10 times higher than you, 10 times at your level, and 10 times lower than you. So this is the main principle of 5-6 principles that I shared with you. Number 1 was they have mentors. Number 2, they persevere. They are consistent in their efforts. Number 3, they read books. Number 4, they are humble. And number 5 was they are stoics. They are not Epicureans. And number 6 was they apply a rule of 33% in their lives. That they divide their time equally to all segments of the society, so that accordingly they can give back to the society and can learn as well. In between all this, while coming to, and this was about books, so I just related it with some other things. One very important thing I want to tell with the students that ये जो हमारे guest speaker भी बात कर रहे थे कि technology ने काफी ज़्यादा मसला खराब किया है. What I personally believe is that there is nothing good or bad in this world. This is all how you take things in your lives. This is all how you use them. This is all how you implement them in your lives. So, but the most important thing that we need to learn among all these big moments, there is a feminism movement, there is the masculine movement, but I want every one of you should try to live not in a masculine world, not in a feminine world, but try to live in a human world. We need more human beings as compared to any other segment of the life that we need. So when just supporting my argument about human life and learning about the soft skills, my teachers, honorable teachers are here, maybe some policymakers must be here. So the biggest need of the 20th century of the young generation, the university students, is to learn the soft skills, to care for each other, sharing each other, creativity, imagination, all these wonderful things that we need to learn, apart from whatever you are, because machines will be working better than you in the coming years. So I'm going to share with you Brian Dyson's wonderful story. Brian Dyson was the ex-CEO of Coca-Cola, and in 1990, there was a great kind of depression among the Coca-Cola employees all over the world. So he made 30-second speech that is considered to be one of the best speech in the 20th century. After 1960 speech of Martin King Luther, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up. And after that speech, Brian Dyson's 30-second speech was one of the greatest speech of 20th century. And he made speech to all his employees. He said, life is like juggling 5 balls in the air. One ball is your family, one ball is your friends, one ball is your health, and one ball is your spirit. And the 5th ball is your career. So a normal human being is juggling all these 5 balls in there throughout the life. But out of these 5 balls, 4 balls are made of glass. Your family, your friends, your spirit, and your health. And once any of these 4 balls, which are actually made of glass, they fell down, either they're damaged, broken, they cannot be in the same shape as they were previously. So you need to care for those 5 balls which are made of glass. There's only one ball, there's only one thing that is made of rubber, and rubber always bounces back. Your career, your job, your professions, whatever things you've been doing. You can always have a second job, you can always have a second business, you can always have a second thing as far as your career is concerned. But the only 4 things that are made of glass, your family, your health, your spirit, and your friends, these things are irreparable. Once they are damaged, they are going to be damaged for the rest of their lives. So you need to take care of all these four walls. Apart from whatever you are pursuing your dreams or your entrepreneurship or the business and all that, it's very important to sustain life. But actually, relationships, poetry, romance, these friendships, and all these things are actually that we live for. These things need to be cared of, and these things actually need to be more valuable compared to any other part of our life. Well, coming to the conclusion of my this small talk, I would also request Hamad as well to shed a little bit light upon all those things. Pakistan is suffering from a lot of challenges. Everyone is talking about challenges, and we have political problems. We have, excuse me, this one thing very important. Then I may ask your permission, so please. Pakistan is suffering from a lot of challenges, and we talk a lot on social media, on our personal Facebook accounts and Twitters and everything. But at the same time, the biggest responsibility lies on us is that what actually in our personal capacity we are doing to remove all those sufferings of human beings in this wonderful country. The 60% population of living in underprivileged areas of Pakistan, what in our personal capacity and individual capacity we are doing it. This is an extremely important question, and you need to ask this question to yourself. Okay, fine, we have bad economy. Okay, fine, we have bad political system. Okay, fine, we have a lot of religious extremism. We have lack of trust in everything. But what in our individual capacity actually we are doing to remove all these sufferings of humanity and to make this world a beautiful place? This is the question that I want to leave with you, to think on that, and then try to figure out how best possibly you can play your role to make Pakistan a wonderful state. As Ahmed Faraz said, सिलसिले तोड़ गया वो सभी जाते जाते, सिलसिले तोड़ गया वो सभी जाते जाते, वरना इतने तो मरासम थे के आते जाते. But this is romantic part. Let me come to one philosophical part as well. सिलसिले तोड़ गया वो सभी जाते जाते, वरना इतने तो मरासम थे के आते जाते, वरना इतने तो मरासम थे के आते जाते, शिकवे जुल्म ते शब से तो कहीं बेहतर था. This is something extremely important. हम बहुत कंप्लेन करते हैं, शिकवा जुल्म ते शब से तो कहीं बेहतर था, अपने हिस्से की एक शम्मा जलाते जाते. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, and I leave you with the wishes from Hunger Games. May all the odds ever be in your favor. Thank you very much.